All right, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baha I'd like to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well, and I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect and 1/3, and Lord's will. This lesson will be edifying and exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baha And as the title reads, 8 out of 4 billion. Okay. I was looking at an article, which I'm getting ready to share with you. And this is off, Esau's information. Okay. They even state that it's not biblical, but pretty much this is going into the first death. Okay. How the Lord saved Noah, his sons and their wives, which equaled 8. All right. 8 people out of the rest of the population of the world. And through Esau's estimation, he came about with 2 different numbers. Okay, I did pick the larger number out of the 2, which I will share with you. But basically, through Esau studying, okay, his heart is deep. All right, they've came to the estimation that there was about 4 billion people on the earth in the time of the days of Noah when the flood came and destroyed them all. And I found this to be, very edifying on multiple levels. Okay. Very edifying for us as sincere sheep. Okay. And also it's very edifying to cut that Eurocentric Edomite Christianity mindset of just God loves everyone and God so loved the world. But, in time past, the same world that they claim he loved, he destroyed what they estimate about 4 billion people out of it. So, I'm just gonna jump into the article. All right, jump into it and make sure the audio is good. Just gonna jump into all right. So let's go right into it. All right, I know the video is good. I had myself on the screen. So right here, okay, I had looked it up and it says this was January 6, 2016. And it says, what was the pre-flood population like? Okay, what was the pre-flood population like? All right, referring to the first death. Now they have Matthew 24 and 38, which I have queued up right here, because you have to understand that this is a sign to let us know that we're in the end. All right, and this should give a severity unto you as an Israelite. Okay, an Israelite man, Israelite woman. Okay, a believer. This should give the severity to you of the judgment that's going to befall this go round. Okay, Babylon is going to receive the brute, okay, the grunt of the punishment and judgment from Yahweh Shemel Shai according to prophecy. All right, and throughout the world, but the main judgment that's going to befall is going to be right here in Babylon. Okay, and it says Matthew 24 and 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Right. Only Yahweh knows this. Okay. This also cuts that who they call Jesus is not the Father God Yahweh, because even right here, Yahweh Shai is letting you know that he doesn't even know the day that he will be sent back for his second coming. All right. Not even the angels that are sent out to do the bidding, but only the Father Yahweh knows. See? But this is a sign how we'll know of if we're near. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So just like in the days of Noah, which real quick, let's get that Genesis 6. Just want to make this in particular point. All right. Pretty much the mindset of the people that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, you can see, okay, it was the same spirit that Noah had to deal with. This is Genesis 6. And right here, Genesis 6 and 5, it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man, woman, and child, right, was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thought of their heart was only evil continually. You can go on World Star and see that. Okay. You can go to Walmart. You can drive down the street. Your conversations, what's being recorded, social media, everything that we see is a witness against these people. Real quick, it says that the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. Now we know in context at first that was speaking about the nation of Israel, but now we know that this is speaking about Babylon. Even when you look up where has been the most UFO sightings, it's been right over here in Babylon. Why? Because the eyes of the Lord, Amos 9:8, behold, the eyes of the Lord power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So right here, this precept, all right, in a nutshell, is what this lesson is going into. How the Lord is watching the sinful kingdom, just like in the days of Noah. The Lord was watching what man was doing, and he sees that their imaginations and thoughts is only evil continually. So just like how the Lord wiped them all away, all right, in the first death, that's what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to do. He's going to wipe the wickedness, all right, off the face of the earth like he did in the days of Noah. So we are in that time now. But if you ever had the thought, well, how many people? Well, just know it was a great number of people on earth, like you have a great number of people now. I am not saying that everyone on the earth is going to be destroyed and there's only going to be 8 people left. No, because prophecy already lets us know, for one, there will be 144,000 Israelite men. That's for one, okay, that will be delivered. Then you have the 1/3, all right, of the mixed multitude of Israelites throughout the earth. And then you will have the remnant of heathens that are left round about on earth that weren't destroyed through pestilence, famine, third war, all right, the heavenly chariots, okay, Jacob's troubled judgment. Those that are left, they will be here as well. See, but it's going to be a great judgment, and this is why it's actually referred to the second death. What the prophecy that we're getting ready to enter, okay, that's getting ready to befall this earth and the inhabitants in it is recorded as the second death. So now that I made these points, I really wanted to bring these points out first. Let's go into this a little bit, and I want to share something with you. So it goes into the New Testament repeats the truth taught in Genesis that only 8 people survived the global flood. 1 Peter 3:20. They're going by the ESV. I believe that's the English Standard Version. It says, because they formerly did not obey when God's patience waited in the days of Noah while the ark was being prepared, in which a few, that is 8 persons, were brought safely through water. All right. And on a spiritual level, the water, which is what? The lake of fire. Okay. It's referred to as a lake of fire. Now, the Lord said that he would never flood the earth again, but I'm speaking spiritual. John saw a lake of fire because of so many arrows. All right, I'll speak in code like the Bible says, but we know through the third war. All right, we know what that means. Now, the elect will be delivered through that. The elect will be delivered out of that fire. It tells you in Zechariah, which Lord's will I'll have to grab. And actually, let me just put it right here because I may go a little further in the lesson and I might forget. So let's put Zechariah 13, which furthers this. Now, I want to read it. I want to read this, but I really want to make this point first. So it says, every person outside the ark when the flood began perished. Okay. Just like now, everybody in Babylon, okay, everybody that's in Babylon that one is not an elected Hebrew Israelite, okay, is going to perish on this side. Just like in the days of Noah, everyone around Noah, all right, that did not get on the ark perished, okay? So it says, how many people in all lost their lives at that time? The Bible does not reveal how many people were on the earth when the flood started, so we can only offer educated guesses about the pre-flood population. And then this is where I said, okay, I like that, because we stick to the facts of the scriptures first, but we do use outside sources that may substantiate the claims that we're making, all right, in studying or in the spirit. So I do agree with this because the Bible doesn't state, but you do have to understand we're talking about the beginning where it tells you be fruitful, multiply. There wasn't no there was a spirit to have children. It wasn't like today, where today, if you brothers, you might, a woman you deal with get pregnant, you automatically like, oh my gosh, money, this and abortion, all that bullshit. No, man, people had no problem populating the earth. And let me give it a great example. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 8 and 1. It says, he answered me saying, the Most High has made this world for many. Okay, many, but the world to come for a few. So just like in the days of Noah, all right, the world had many people, but the world after that only started with a few, which is symbolic, which it did happen. But what was it symbolic of? What's going to happen in this time? Because everything has been predestinated. Just like how we let you know that there's a predestinated elect Israelites that are going to be delivered. Well, Noah was predestined. All right, just like his sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. All right. And then the world was repopulated by these men. Okay. You hear that, women? The world that this my body, I don't need a man. Well, you're here because of men. Okay. All these people that are walking the earth are here because 3 men. All right. You also had Noah, but we're going off the Ham, Shem, and Japheth. 3 men had sex with multiple women, their wives, to repopulate the earth after a great extinction of creation took place because of your wickedness. See, that's what's getting ready to happen. Everything that you see going on today, all right, is a mirror match of what Noah dealt with back then. Hence why Matthew 24 and going back 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying, having sex. Marriage is the act of sex. Okay. When a woman is supposed to be a virgin for one. And when you take what you know as her virginity, all right, and that bloodshed, that signifies the covenant between you and her. This is why we had laws on that, where if you gave your daughter to a man, the mother and the father would keep that token so that he couldn't say she wasn't a virgin. It's a righteous ceremony that takes place. But this goes to show you. So now look, it says marrying and giving in marriage. Now the marriage rate is at the divorce rate is at an all-time high, multiple marriages. Sex is everywhere now. Okay. That's why I said, hey, you want to see how people are? Go on World Star. Go look on World Star and just look at all the fleshly activities, flood behavior going on, shall I say. It says, and given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. So they were completely given over to the flesh. And when you're given over to the flesh, what happens? Sex, children, more. What's the word called? Reprocreation, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to understand in the spirit that there were a lot of people in the days of Noah, like there are a lot of people now, because this world was created for the many. Okay, so let's go back. All right, and it says some people believe the population was relatively low. The Bible explains that people were extremely corrupt and violent prior to the flood, just like right now. The love of many shall wax cold. All right, so you see this great combination all over again. Okay, this is why Yahushua told us it will be as the days of Noah. But just like, look at all the people that are on the earth now. Now, could there be more people on the earth now than back then? Yeah, I believe that. But the point is, look at all the people that are on the earth. It ain't relatively low. It's relatively high. So even back then, it had to be on a level of a great population. Okay, and it says, it is not hard, it is not hard to imagine the world being filled with wars, disease, and other factors that would keep the population in check. To a degree, yeah. It says others believe that, but remember, it said the sons of God were sleeping with the the sons of God, which were the Israelites before we were called Israelites, all right? That's why they call them giants, were sleeping with the men of other nations. Hey, we're Israelites. We like women. We like women. So there had to be a lot of children. Okay. And it says, It says, if the growth rate in the pre-flood world was equal to the growth rate in the year 2000, look, there could have been about 750 million people at that time of the flood. So right here, Esau said, well, if we compare it to the growth rate of the year 2000, which I believe the year 2000 is when the hour ended with the whore and the beast in Revelations, right? If I'm not mistaken. They're saying, well, there could have been at least even 750 million. That's still a lot of people. 750 million is still a lot of people for only 8 of them to be delivered out of, okay? For only 8 people to be delivered out of 750 million is still quite a substantial margin of separation. So let's just keep reading. And it says, however, given the extremely long lifespan, remember that, prior to the flood, meaning people lived longer, the growth rate could have been much higher. So that, look, increasing the rate would put the population at close to 4 billion at the flood. So they're saying that through their hypothesis, through their educated guess, which I'm not arguing with, okay, it does make sense that there was some people on the earth. They're saying that there could have been up to 4 billion people before the flood, and then Yahweh Bashem Yahushai judged all of them, destroyed all of them, and only preserved 8. Only preserved 8. This should show you the severity of when Jacob's trouble hits, why it says they shall be dung. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Let me get Jeremiah 16, because that one comes to mind, and it will tie into Zechariah, because remember, you're going to have Israelites, just like in the days of Noah, the sons of God. The sons of God got destroyed, but they were the sons of God, but they were wicked. See? So just like now, you're going to have a lot of Israelites be destroyed, mainly here in Babylon. Jeremiah 16 and 1, it says, the word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. He's telling Jeremiah this, but we now take this what? To understand in the spirit the severity of the judgment of the Lord. For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, they shall die of grievous death. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. And let me say this, a lot of people in the days of Noah didn't just die from the flood, and it's not in the scriptures, but it makes sense. A lot of them died from the creatures that were in the water. So you know how scary that is? You know how scary that is to have it raining, and then the rain just keeps, and this is before it rained, okay? So it rained, and then it didn't stop, and then slowly those treacherous waters that myths and legends and folk tales came from about it. You better not go in these waters because there's such and such creatures in. And then when the water that was on the land got so high that the water that was in the sea came together, and now those creatures could go from that lake, from those waters, and then go on to what was known as land and start eating and attacking the people round about. That's scary, man. That's scary. So some of them screams that Noah heard could have been from being attacked and eaten. But this is who we're talking about, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Christians don't tell you this. They don't go into this notion. They don't even speak about who they call Jesus, warning us about times like this. And then for one to sit and think and meditate, man, that's crazy that out of all the people that were on the earth, even though the Bible doesn't tell us, we only know that 8 of them were delivered. Only 8 of them. But now, for some odd reason, now because we're in the Western Hemisphere and because some blue eyes and brown hair right here, no, God loves all now. Get out of here. Get out of here. I can't believe that. And why? Well, just take a second. Open your heart. Wait a minute. I'm going to open the Bible. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. See? Why did Noah and his sons get preserved? Well, the Lord found righteousness in Noah to lead up to what? For to preserve these lines, for nations to come back, And in particularly out of these nations, a chosen nation, and that nation is now who you know as the Israelites. See, so the Most High doesn't change. So he took out the majority back then, but preserved, okay, a in particular, just like now. Now going back, 2 Ezra 8:3, it says, "There be many created, but few shall be saved." You see that? Many were created, but only few shall be saved. And even amongst the nation of Israel, we're known as the sand of the sea. But for the most part, we know that there's an innumerable multitude. But even out of that, there's a small remnant that the Bible says. A small remnant will be delivered, just like Noah and the 8. That was a small remnant. You see? So the women that got delivered, why they get delivered? So that they can bear the seed of these men. So that should put a sister in a righteous spirit and not entitled. But you were created to do what? House the body, okay? To allow nations to come back. You see? So a woman should be thankful that an Israelite man were to put his seed in her so she could, oh my gosh, I'm the mother of this chosen nation coming back. That's righteous. But they don't have that mindset today. Why do you think why is there a prophecy of 7 women taking hold of 1 man? Repopulation. This is how bad it's going to get. The world had to be repopulated, okay? See, people think too emotional with certain statements and prophecies that are brought out for edification's sake. How can the nation of Israel come back? Let's prove it. Zechariah 13:8, it says, "And it shall come to pass that in the land, in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire." Remember, through the water, now through the fire. First it was through the water, now it's through the fire. "And I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, and I will hear them." Didn't he say, I remembered Noah? Didn't he say, I remember my promise to Abraham? See? "And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God." That's the time we're coming into. Okay? This is the time we're coming into where a great number of people are going to be destroyed, including the chosen people, but it's going to be through the small remnant, how they're brought back. Just like all the people that died pre-flood. How did they come back? Through Ham, Shem, and Japheth. But what you have to understand is that there was a great number. Oh, 2 Ezra 5. 2 Ezra, I don't know where that's going. Right here. 2 Ezra, previous 5. 2 Ezra 5. Look at this. It says, "Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, prophecies, judgment, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number." Hey, 4 billion is a great number. And like I stated, and I'll say it again, all right, this is what Esau is saying. And I'm not saying that he's 100% correct, but it does make sense. There was a great number of people. Okay, like right now, if you didn't add in, not to be sounding lewd, but if you didn't add in like condoms and Plan B and abortion, you got to imagine how high of a level the population would even be now, how great it would be. But there is still a great number and going on even within all these factors that one may play in. So how much more back then? All right. How much more back then? You see? So there was a great number to where Esau's even stating it could have been up to 4 billion and only 8 were saved. So now it makes more sense of how important it is about what the elect and what we're striving for. Okay. What we're striving for. Real quick, let me get that scripture too about the small remnant, just for edification's sake, because Zechariah saying there was a third part. The third part is the small remnant. All right. There's a lot of people on the earth right now, and I'm not saying every single person on the earth is gonna perish and only 8. No. We know that, but don't be simple. We're not saying that, but we're using the comparison of the judgment that happened in the time of Noah and extrapolating through scriptures of prophecy in the spirit of when the Lord said it'll be as the days of Noah. So understanding severity is it's going to be a smaller remnant. A smaller remnant will be saved than destroyed. Okay, Isaiah 1:9, it says, "Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like a Gomorrah," meaning what? Destroyed. Okay, destroyed through fire and brimstone. But as it says in the book of Peter, this is reserved. Let's get it, the 3rd chapter, because it goes right in with it. Yeah, I was reading this, I think last night, and I was like, man, that's heavy. It makes sense, but it's heavy. 2 Peter 3 and right here, 2 Peter 3 and 5, it says, "For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, okay, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men." So if the known world perished and only 8 were delivered, and then you sit back and think, well, how many estimated or guesstimating were there? Some would say, well, it has to be in the millions, and possibly in the billions were destroyed. It makes you look at this in retrospect now, and you should understand the severity of what you're involved in, okay? You should understand this, because when this deal goes down, people are going to want to be on that ark, okay? The chariot. People are going to want to be delivered. Wisdom of Solomon 5, all right? But only the predestinated are going to be delivered out of here. That's a scary thing. That's a scary thing, all right? Ephesians 1 and 4, "According as he has chosen us in him," like Noah, "before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua Mashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will." That is the message that needs to be preached. And by my estimation, the only ones I see doing that, all right, are the men that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. Christians are not telling you this, okay? I was a Christian for a long time, and I never heard about judgment. I never heard about the days of Noah. I never heard about only 8 people being delivered and the rest of the world was destroyed by the flood. These are things that are found right in the scriptures that they bear record of, and they don't teach, preach, or edify in. You see, because they don't have the spirit. The scriptures say, "We persuade men by the terror of the Lord," and that is terror. Oh, doesn't it say the works of the Lord are terrible unto men? Let me get that real quick. But they don't tell you about that. The works of I think it's Psalm 55 and 6. No, Psalm 55, 16. It says the works of the Lord are terrible. It says, "Come and see, the works of the Lord are terrible among men." Terrible among men. And it says men because men first and the women too. So here, okay, 66. Yep, 66 and 5. It says, "Come and see." What my man Johnny Cash said, he said, "Come and see." And I saw. Yeah, there's a man going around going to take names, man. Psalm 66 and 5, "Come and see the works of the Most High. He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men." And we have examples of that. The days of Noah. And we see that the Lord doesn't change. You see? So, hey, this is serious. This is severe, okay? And we are getting ready to witness the second death. All right, you had the first. Let's put that in real quick. Let's put in first death, see what pops up. Okay, so let's do it in this, because I know the second death. I just want to see something. All right, let's go here, go there. First death. Now they may say Abel, but I just want to see if they, okay, yeah, okay. All right, so let's do it like this. Let's put second death. All right, right here. See? Revelations 20 and 14, it says, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, meaning this is that great destruction, okay? This is that great token, a great number of people taken away, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And out of the second death, there will only be a small remnant delivered out of this second death, delivered, all right? Scarcely saved, as it says, out of all these millions of people over here on this side, right? Because that's where the lake of fire will be. It's going to be in Babylon through the third woe. All these people on this side will perish by one way or another from the judgment coming, and then ultimately through this prophecy, and only, okay, a small remnant will be delivered out of that, and they're going to be Israelites first and foremost, okay? And then the rest of the judgment throughout the world, it's recorded as a second death. What you think happened with the first death? Millions, if not billions, perished in the first death. So what do you think is going to take place in the second death? And I'll end it right here because it just came to mind. Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. We are living in very serious times. This is why you are to take heed, not play around with the prophecy of the MOTB, and understand the judgment of the Lord. Jacob's trouble is going to be serious. Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, behold, it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, every single human created, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. If the time is different, if one day to the Lord is 1,000 to us, then many to us is a different number to him. So if he's telling you a great number and he's telling you many, that's a lot different than what you think. You see, you got to think outside of the flesh. Meaning you got to think outside of this box, okay? So the number is going to be great. There's going to be a great judgment that is going to befall this earth, okay? And we're going to witness it here in Babylon and throughout. In so much it's regarded as the days of Noah, and it's prophesied to be the second death of man. And we've already went into the number of what they believe what happened in the first death, you see? So only 8 out of 4 billion were delivered. So now 144,000 with the 1/3. Okay, I'll put it like this: 1/3. All right, 1/3 of the nation of Israel will be delivered out of the rest of the Israelites and the rest of the world. And then those people throughout the world that weren't in Babylon, okay, that didn't get taken out through famine, destruction, war, evil, and pestilence, they will be the first generation of their heathen nations in our rulership and kingdom. You see? So we're getting ready for a great reset. A great reset of creation is getting ready to take place. So I just wanted to do a lesson on it. You know, I found that heavy, 8 out of 4 billion. But then Christians, you brothers know, you sisters know that, hey, just stick to that. When they try to push all that BS, stick to the, hey, what about the days of Noah? And then you're bridging to now is what? When Yahushua said it'd be as the days of Noah. See? So now we know that in the days of Noah, 8 people were saved, but then you have to wonder how many people were destroyed compared to saved. Like now, there will be more people destroyed than saved. So we're entering a great cleansing, a great reset, and a great time of judgment on this earth when it comes to man and creation. So I'll leave it there. I pray that you're edified. I pray that you're edified through the spirit as I was. And I just like to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that do well. With that being said, Shalom.